All right, so let's start laying down on our back today. When you get there, give your knees a little squeeze into your chest. Oh, so you can hold shins, thighs. Thighs sometimes feels a little easier if this is the first time you're getting on your mat today. Just rock and roll a little bit from side to side. And then go ahead and take your feet down on your mat as wide as the mat. Allow your knees to knock in towards each other. And take your arms by your side here. Kind of find that feeling of bridge pose in your upper body. So you're snuggling those shoulders underneath you, pressing into the center of the back of your head. Your chin is gently tucking towards your chest. Take a nice deep inhale here through your nose. And then open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Do that a couple more times. So nice, smooth, deep inhale. Pause the breath at the top. See if you can sip in a little more air. And then sigh the breath out, let it go. A couple more times at your pace, just like that. So just kind of triggering this idea in your brain that you are landing on your yoga mat, that you're going to start to pay attention to your breath, to your body, and start to quiet the thoughts, the noise in the mind a little bit. And as you feel ready, you start to drop into your Ujjayi breath. So that inhale through your nose, you're constricting the sides of your throat so you create a soft rush of air in the back of your throat. And then you're doing that same thing as you exhale through your nose. You don't have to overdo this, but the sound is audible to you. If there was somebody practicing next to you, they'd be able to hear it. And it sounds like Darth Vader, which I guess is appropriate since yesterday was May the 4th. Be with you. Wah, wah, wah. Just soaking up this, the initial quiet here. Trying to breathe this sense of ease into your body, so making sure that you're not gripping anywhere that you don't need to. Good. Start to walk your feet so that they're hips distance apart. So ankles landing underneath your knees, and then squeeze your knees in again. Take your arms out wide in a T shape. We're just going to do a little twisting side to side. So it's a little twisting, a little core work. So you don't have to go super far with this. Start out nice and gentle. So take a nice deep inhale here. Feel your shoulder blades heavy. As you exhale, drop your knees off to the right, any amount. And that's going to be dictated by that left shoulder blade. So you want to keep it pressing down. As you inhale, come up to center. And then as you exhale, knees twist to the left. You could be looking out over that right arm. Inhale up to center. Then continue like this at your pace. And again, it doesn't have to be a big, deep twist, big, deep movement. It's going to take a little time to warm this up, but just finding this action. So this is our stomach churning pose. We're going to just move like this. We're finding a little vinyasa here. So connecting movement with breath, which can feel really nice. Maybe even erring on the side of slower, really stretching this out. And then as you start to warm things up, as you start to open up, it might feel as though this gets a little easier. You're finding a little more space in that lower back. So stick with this about 4 or 5 more rounds to each side. And again, you can be looking out over opposite fingers, so looking the opposite direction of the way that your knees are falling. Let's say the next time your knees are falling off to the right, you're going to leave them there. So just coming into the full gentle twist here. So legs might rest on the floor. You might slide a block or a blanket underneath. Again, we want to have that left shoulder blade pressing down. So you feel really anchored and steady there. You feel this stretch across your heart and chest. And depending upon what's going on in the hips, the hip flexors, maybe you're squeezing your knees in a little tighter to your chest. Maybe you're rolling towards that left ear, just gazing out over those fingertips. Really emphasize the inhale here, trying to fill up. It's always a little more challenging when we're in a twist like this, but really look for that three-dimensional expansion of the rib cage. And then we come on up to center with the knees, and then as we exhale, they drop off to the left. So again, I'm kind of deciding how far I go using this right shoulder blade as a little template. So if it starts to lift up, then I back out a little bit, or I give myself a little support, either underneath the legs or that right shoulder. Maybe looking out over the right fingertips, so feeling a little stretch in the side of the neck. Three-dimensional breath on the inhale, trying to expand out in all directions. Good. Inhale up to center. Hug the knees in again. And then start to roll forward and back on your spine, assuming that feels okay. Some days that's not in the cards. So if that's you today, you just roll off to one side or the other. We all make our way up to our tabletop position. And when you get there, just land with your shoulders over your wrists, fingers spreading, pressing evenly. Knees underneath your hips. And we move into some cat-cow, so starting to warm up the spine. So as you inhale, chest extends forward through the gates of your shoulders. As you exhale, press the mat away, firm down into your shins. Let the neck release. And then continuing like that, just finding a nice, smooth, even, easy pace. Getting curious about how your spine is feeling here. So starting out, it can be a little tender, a little tight. So go easy. It's going to start to feel different pretty quickly. A couple more rounds. Just enjoy this rhythm as you move with your breath. Beautiful work, everyone. Good. On your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. So we're going to come into a little shoulder arm twist. You might need a block or a prop for this. A blanket would work. So just going to thread the eye of the needle here. We're going to root down into our right palm. Take this left arm underneath. So land on that shoulder, that ear, unless you're really tight, in which case you give yourself a little support. All right, and then you take a couple breaths like this. So as you're rooting down, start to spin those left ribs to the right. Keep breathing, even though this is really intense, especially since this can be really intense for some of us. Stay here like this. If you have the space, you can start to reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. So you lean back a little more. That's going to help you to twist those left ribs up. So you're just getting a little leverage here. And then maybe start to externally rotate. So you're spinning your palm to face behind you. Bend that right elbow. Grab a piece of shirt. Grab a piece of thigh. So, and then just use whatever leverage you have to press your right shoulder head back a little bit. Opening up. Breath smooth and steady. Good. As you inhale, stretch that right arm up if you came into the wrap. Nice work. As you exhale, unwind, come back to your tabletop. Couple rounds of cat-cow, just a little palate cleanser. So letting that go before we come into the second side. Inhale to neutral spine, and the same thing here. Root down into that left palm, thread your right arm behind, landing on that right ear and shoulder. If it feels okay to do so, you might need to give yourself a little height. So use a prop if need be. This side might be different. Then feel that stretch. The outer right arm tricep area can be quite intense. Are you breathing? You're welcome to stay here like this, especially if you're getting some good sensation. Otherwise, maybe start to reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling. So find lots of length there. Externally rotate, so spin your palm to face behind you, bend the elbow, grab a piece of shirt, the lower right waist. Maybe you can get your fingertips to the inside of that right thigh. Just finding a little leverage so you can lift that left shoulder head up. Does this side feel different in your body? You're noticing these things. Not necessarily even trying to change them, but just becoming aware of what's going on. Good. And then inhale, if you're in the wrap, go ahead and extend that left arm up. As you exhale, you unwind. Back in your tabletop, couple rounds of your cat-cow, just letting that go. Really let the back of the neck lengthen as you come into that cat stretch, surrounding in the thoracic, the upper spine. Good work. Good. And then before we come down onto our bellies, let's just go ahead and come on up. We're going to stretch out our toes a little bit. So we're going to sit back on our heels. So you're going to curl your toes under. You're going to have to reach back, snuggle that left toe under. And we're going to be here about like 5, 6, 7 breaths. I'll try not to breathe too slow so it's not super long. This is really, really intense. Big, big stretch on the toes. Come out a little bit if you need to. Take little breaks. It can feel as though all the toes are going to break. I have yet to see it. Don't let today be the day. All right, a few more breaths. You're feeling your shoulders balance over your sit bones. You're smiling a little bit. Or maybe you're just flipping me the bird. That would work too. All right. We did it. Come on out. And then you're just going to want to circle around in your ankles a few times each direction. Wiggle out those toes. So not a fun one to do, but a really good one to do. Particularly if you're like a runner. Actually, for everybody, I think it's good. It's not a movement that we do a lot, so it's a nice kind of counter to all of the standing that we do. All right, so we're back in our tabletop. We're going to walk our hands forward a couple of inches. Give ourselves a little space. Shift shoulders over wrists. Keep your belly lifted. As you exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga, and you might not even be at halfway. So we don't want our shoulder heads any lower than our elbows. Inhale, press up. Okay, so it's like a little mini push-up. Exhale, lower. Yeah, inhale up, nice work. Couple more. Exhale, elbows are squeezing in towards the sides of your waist. Inhale up, that can feel a little awkward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale up, this is the last one, I promise. As you exhale, lower. Couple breaths here, hover. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose, gazing forward. Ooh, feeling the burn in your arms, loving it as you exhale, lower onto your belly. Nice work. Press into the tops of your feet. So pressing into all 10 toenails. We're going to keep our fingertips just underneath our shoulder heads here. It's the same feeling that we just had when we were doing those chaturanga. So the elbows are squeezing in, shoulder heads lift, moving with the breath. Inhale, chest extends forward and up. It's not a big movement, just this gentle back strengthener and opener. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, curl up. Beautiful work. As you exhale, you lower. A few more like this. Inhaling, coiling forward and up. Exhaling, rolling on down. Inhale up. Good. Exhale, lower. And then inhale up. Hold here. Few breaths. So front of the neck, back of the neck, nice and long. So you're not tucking your chin or you're not throwing your chin up towards the ceiling. You're just splitting the difference. Nice work in that. Legs are active, so you can feel the outer hips squeezing in towards each other. The glutes are firing ever so slightly. So you're supporting your lumbar. Good. From here, press to your tabletop. Curl your toes under. Shift your hips up towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Pedal back and forth between your feet. You might be getting all kinds of wonderful clicks and cracks in your ankles and toes like I am. Maybe not. Just kind of paying attention to the sensations. And then as you feel ready, you come to a place of stillness. So checking to see that your feet are hips distance apart. Your ears are lining up with your biceps, your inner arms. Fingers spreading, pressing evenly, firming the forearms away from the mat. As you root down into your hands, you find that length through the sides of your waist. And then listen to that sound of your breath, that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. So we always remind ourselves to come back to that. So our breath is really this, it's like what weaves all of the poses together in our practice. It is the through line. From here, start to walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. So feet about hips distance apart, second and third toe point forward. Make sure that all of the weight doesn't go into your heels, so you're standing nice and even. As you inhale, hands on shins, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward, elbows squeeze in. As you exhale, release down. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Couple more like that. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. This is our half forward fold. Exhale into our Uttanasana, full forward fold. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Beautiful work. Exhale, empty out, fold in. And this time press down into your feet. Take your arms out nice and wide, or you can reach forward and up so they come up overhead. Extended mountain pose. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. And we start to flow a little bit here. Inhaling, reaching up. Feeling really fluid, really graceful here. As you exhale, hinge forward at your waist, fold in. You can always have a little bend in your knees, especially if you're tighter in the hamstrings. Inhale, lengthen into your Ardha Uttanasana. I think elbow squeezing in here too. As you exhale, fold back in. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching Utthita Hastasana into Tadasana, extended mountain pose. As you exhale, come into your deep forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale into your half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release back in. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. We have 3 more of these. You're just going to flow with your breath at your pace. You can follow along with me. Maybe close your eyes if that feels good. Wherever you're at, though, you're just enjoying how these feel. You're enjoying this movement, the space that you're finding in your body. These little half sun salutes are like daily vitamins. Good to do a few of these at least every day. And there's absolutely no rush. Sometimes it can feel really, really nice to just slow these down, stretch them out. Beautiful, beautiful work. When you've finished your third round, you're just pausing in your mountain pose, palms together at your heart, maybe closing your eyes. You can keep the eyes open as well. Just gaze down at your fingertips. So soft, gentle gaze, not really focusing on anything in particular. Checking in with your breath, noticing what's happening there. Checking in with the physical sensations happening in your body, what's going on there. All right, so let's start to add on here. So as you exhale, release your arms by your side. Inhale, stretch up, right fingertips to left wrist. As you exhale, side bend to the right. Good, inhale up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Good, inhale up. Let's do that one more time each side. So as you exhale, lean to the right. Good, inhale up. And then exhale, lean to the left. Try to press evenly into both feet. Inhale up to center. As you exhale, fold in, let the back of your neck lengthen down. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Step your left foot way back, land on that left knee. So we're in a low crescent here. Bring your hands up to this right thigh. Tailbone directs down, sternum reaches up as you inhale. Stretch your arms up, and we're going to side bend again. So really squeeze this right hip in. Right fingertips to left wrist, start to lean off to the side. This becomes a little bit of a balance pose here in this configuration. Feel the pinky side of the left hand spin down. Maybe start to bring your gaze up any amount. If you're wobbling a little bit, you're doing it right. If you're falling out, that's totally cool too. It's only yoga. All right, we're gonna inhale, come up to center, and then we're gonna find a twist here. So we're gonna take our left palm to the mat. Maybe you're up on a block. Make sure shoulder is over your wrist. Press to the inner edge of this right foot. Start to wrap your left ribs to the right, extending that right arm up. Gorgeous, nice, Annette. Your gaze can be down, it can be forward, it can be up at that right thumb. Breath is smooth and steady. Try to fill up on the inhale. Again, it's a little tricky in these twists. One more deep inhale here. As you exhale, you're gonna unwind. I'm gonna switch my angle here. So we're gonna plant our palms on either side of this right foot. Curl your left toes under, firm that thigh up, and then you're gonna probably wanna come onto fingertips or blocks here. Good, so we're in this low crescent pose. Take your arms out like airplane wings. Yeah, nice, Neil. And then reach forward. Stay low, yeah. Try not to lay your belly on your thigh. Ooh, it's hard. And then palms come down to the floor again. Keep your hips low, keep gazing forward. Step your right foot to meet your left foot in plank pose. Nice. Take an inhale here. So your choice, full plank or come to your knees, lower halfway, hover, then all the way down. Inhale, low cobra. Good, as you exhale, pass through your tabletop, curl toes under, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Good work. As you inhale, you're gonna lift your left leg up. As you exhale, belly help step that foot through between your hands, land on your right knee. Make sure you're not on a tightrope, so walk that left foot to the left if you need to, and then upright yourself. So your tailbone is directing down. You're gonna feel a little stretch on this right hip flexor here. Inhale, arms reach up. Okay, and then think left hip squeezing into the midline, left fingertips to right wrist, start to side bend to the left. Maybe looking up underneath that top arm. Breath smooth and steady. Notice if you've got the death grip on your left toes. Try to press into the four corners of the feet instead and spread the toes. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Good, as we inhale, we come on up. Anjaliasana crescent pose, and then we find our twist. So as we exhale, we're gonna plant this right palm down, maybe hand on a block. So this This leg that's in front here, the tendency is to roll to the outer edge of that foot. Keep pressing to the inner edge so everything is squeezing in, and then start to twist those right ribs to the left, extending left arm up so shoulder blades stack on top of each other. Breath smooth and steady. Just wringing everything out here in this nice gentle twist. These twists are so good for the spine. That being said, they're pretty intense. Let's take one more deep inhale here. Good. As you exhale, unwind. So palms plant, curl your right toes under, firm that leg up, and then come onto fingertips or blocks. All right. Yeah. All right. Airplane wings, inhale. Try not to lay to your belly down, but you're not upright entirely. These look great. Stretch your arms forward like you rose on the Titanic. Yes. And then release your hands down as you exhale. Step your right foot to meet your left foot, the top of the mat. Inhale, chest lengthens. Yeah. As you exhale, you fold in. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Nice work. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching. Good, left fingertips, right wrist. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. Right fingertips, left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. One more each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend. Hopefully it's starting to feel a little easier. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale up to center here. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends, forward gaze comes forward. Good. Step your right foot way back. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. So feet hips distance apart. All right, arms out like airplane wings again. Good. Stretch forward as you exhale. And then keep this nice deep bend in this left knee. Maybe bend your back knee a little bit. Start to peel your chest up, coming into your full crescent pose. Good. And then let's inhale, straighten both legs here. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, left hip back or right hip forward as legs come to straight. Exhale, sink in. Keep this deep bend in the left knee. Inhale, start to straighten that right leg. And then maybe bring your gaze up. Press palms together. All right. As you exhale, hands plant. Keep your gaze forward. Keep your hips even. Step that left foot to meet your right foot. Take an inhale here in your plank pose. Exhale, shift forward on toes. Lower chaturanga, hover, or come all the way down. So this time you have the option to come into up dog if you're ready. Otherwise, you're just doing your low cobra. As you exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. All right, so from here, we inhale, lift our right leg. Exhale, step that foot through. All right, so we're nice and low here. Feet hips distance apart. Take your arms out like airplane wings. Good. Exhale, stretch them forward. See how long you can get, and then hold on to all of that. Maybe find a little bend in the left knee. Start to peel your chest up off that front thigh. Take an exhale. Definitely a balance pose here. All right, so as we inhale, we straighten both legs. Right hip draws back, left hip forward. Exhale, bend both knees. And then inhale, straighten. Good, exhale, bend in. Keep this right knee bent. Start to straighten that left leg any amount. All right, maybe bring your gaze up. Press palms together. Good, as you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your left foot to meet your right foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, chest lengthens. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. Beautiful work as you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So we are inhaling, arms reach up. As we exhale, we're hinging forward, folding in. Inhale, chest lengthens forward, gaze comes forward. Bend your knees, plant your palms, right foot back, then left foot. Good, take an inhale here in your plank pose. Exhale, shift forward, maybe come to knees, lower halfway, hover. Stay there or come all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. Tops of the feet press. Good, as you exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Good, and then just lower to your knees here so we find our tabletop position. So shoulders over your wrists, fingers spreading, pressing evenly. Feel your lower belly pull in and up here. We're gonna inhale, lift our right leg up. That hip's gonna wanna open. Resist that urge, so spin it down, keep both hips even. Inhale, stretch your left fingertips forward. Yeah, good. So fire up that lifted leg a lot. Front of the thigh is pressing towards the back of the thigh. Really feeling muscles engage. Stay here like this. Maybe you bend your right knee. Maybe you reach back, see if you can find that foot with your left hand. Find a little twist here. So you kick that foot into your hand, and it doesn't matter if that's happening. You can also just be in this extended version. You're getting all of the work. It doesn't matter if you fall out of this. Good. One more deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. So if you've got the foot, inhale, lengthen back out. Nice work, Neil. As you exhale, release everything down. Second side. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not. Let's see. As you inhale, left leg lifts. All right. Toes point down, outer hip squeeze in, feel your belly pull in and up, root down into that left palm, stretch your right arm forward. So those left toes are pointing down. Stay here like this. Maybe bend your left knee. Good, maybe reach back, see if you can find the foot. So this is kind of like Dhanurasana. So our bow pose that we do on our belly. If you've got the foot, kick it, and spin it. So left ribs wrap to the right, little twist here, little back bend, little balance, all of the things. All of the things for a Wednesday yoga. All right, here we go. Deep inhale, full exhale. If you have got your foot as you inhale, nice and slow, stretch back out. Oh yeah. Exhale, release down. Couple rounds of your cat-cow. Inhale, chest extends forward. Ooh, as you exhale, round in. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, chest extends forward, and then curl your toes under. Shift your hips up, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths. You might need to adjust your stance here. Give yourself a little more space. Even out your breath if it got a little bit ragged. So that nice inhale through your nose. Full, complete exhale through your nose. As you inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step that foot through between your hands, lands on your left knee. And then you might want to have blocks here. So we're going to stretch out the hip flexors. You might need to pad up that back knee too. So especially if you're on a hard surface, you can double up your mat. You can slide a blanket back there. So we're going to bring both hands to the inside of this right foot. So again, hands could be on blocks if you're a little tighter. You can spin these, I'm going to scoot back so you can see a little better. You can spin these right toes out a little bit. All right. So you can be on blocks, on hands. The more open you are in your hip flexors, the more you can slide that left knee back. And then so you're going to stay here like this. If you want to play with that little wrap and twist again, some of us might bend this left knee, reach back with your right hand. So you can either grab the inside of the foot or the outer edge of the foot. So you feel this nice stretch on the hip flexor, and then you're wrapping those left ribs to the right. You're leaning this right shoulder head back. You might be able to lower down onto that left forearm if you're a little more flexible. So lots of options. You don't need to be doing what I'm doing. You need to listen to your body and see what's working for you today. Sometimes it's fun to try some new variations though. Good, let's do one more deep inhale. All right, so if you've got the foot, gently let it release. All right, so press into your palms and then heel toe your right foot to the right. So one hand on either side of that front foot. Okay, curl your left toes under, firm that thigh up. One motion here, inhale, rise up. Crescent pose. Beautiful work. As you exhale, hands come out wide, arms come out wide. Deep inhale. Keep hips facing forward. Generate this move from this lowermost left waist. Exhale. Start to twist to the right. Just a couple of breaths here like this, upright in the torso. You can just imagine that somebody is gently pulling on your wrist, stretching you apart. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, unwind. Inhale, stretch arms up overhead. Nice work. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Options. If you're getting cooked, you step back to downward facing dog. If you'd like a little more heat, back to plank pose, your version of your chaturanga vinyasa, moving with your breath. These are optional. They're always optional, but especially as we start to warm up and move towards the final part of our class here. When we get back to our downward facing dog, let's all take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. Land on your right knee. So you want to make sure you're not on a tightrope, and we're going to actually walk this left foot off to the left. So you could have hands on blocks. If you're a little tighter, this is just called bringing the floor closer to you. It's not cheating, it's playing it smart. If we're a little more flexible, can be resting on our hands, and then maybe you're sliding that right knee back. Again, pat it up if you need to. This can be a lot of pressure on the knee joint. And even here, it's kind of that same idea that we have when we're in our crescent pose. We're pressing to the inner edge of this left foot, at least for this particular variation today. All right, so you're gonna stay here like this. If you would like to play with bending that right knee, I've got to get my knee on the mat. It hurts on the hardwood floor. All right, much better. And then reach back with that left hand. And then it's that same idea, grab it, kick it, spin it. So wrapping those right ribs to the left. And then final stage here, some of us might come onto that right forearm. That's just gonna get into that right hip flexor a little more. Breath smooth and steady. Good work. All right, so nice and easy, just release the foot. If you have it, sometimes we kind of slingshot that foot back. Okay, and then heel toe that left foot in. So palms plant here, curl your right toes under, firm that thigh. Inhale, rise up. Crescent pose, nice. Exhale, arms out wide, your palms can face forward. Good, so we just keep all this length in the torso, deep inhale. Exhale, keep lower body the same, but just start to wrap from this lowermost right rib, twisting to the left. Checking in with your breath, what's going on there? Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, unwind. Inhale, stretch arms up overhead. Nice work. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat again. Options, step to your downward facing dog or to your plank. Take a chaturanga vinyasa if you want a little more heat for these final moments of our practice together. Pull back into your downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. All right, so as we inhale, we're gonna find a little bend in the knees, come to the tippy toes. End of your exhale, you can step right then left. You can hop both feet forward. Inhale, chest extends. Nice work. As you exhale, fold in. Press down into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So we want our feet to be about hips distance apart here. Second and third toe, point forward. Good. Arms can just release by your side. As we inhale, we're gonna bend our knees. Come into our Utkatasana chair pose. So feel how the hips are both facing the same direction. We wanna hold on to that. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Vigorously press palms towards heart center. Good, and then start to hinge forward. Exhale, twist to the left, or to the right rather, bringing your left elbow to the outside of that right thigh. If it's not getting there, it can be to the inside of the left thigh. Good, try to lengthen forward through the sides of your waist. Really wrap those left ribs up towards the ceiling as you keep pressing your palms towards heart center. Nice work. Keep your upper body twisting like this. Just bring your gaze down. Start to shift the weight into that right foot. Lift that left leg up, stretch it back, and then place those toes down. So we've just transitioned into our twisting crescent. Nice, yeah. Make any little adjustments that you need to. Fire that back leg up. The top of that left thigh is pressing vigorously towards the ceiling. Good, okay, same thing, look down at your right toes. We're moving in the opposite direction. Weight comes in to that right foot, step your left foot forward. Oh, so good. As you exhale, unwind, hallelujah. Take a little forward fold here. Okay, so whatever you wanna do. You can bring your hands to the backs of your calves, pull in. You could even interlace your fingers, get into the shoulders a little bit. So start to reach your arms up overhead. Whatever is calling to you. Slow the breath down. Good, and then just start to release your fingertips to the mat if you're doing a variation. Find a bend in your knees. Just begin to roll up to standing. One more side. Thankfully, there's only one more side. Okay, so that little sequence to the left here. So feet hips distance apart, hips are facing forward. We want to keep this throughout this little sequence. So just be mindful of that as we go in. So we inhale, knees bend, arms reach up. Utkatasana chair, weight is in your heels, toes light. Exhale, hands to heart center. They vigorously press. Keep hips the same, deep inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. So hooking left elbow or right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. It could also be to the inside of that right thigh if this is a little more challenging in your body. Palms vigorously pressed towards heart center. Maybe you're gazing up over that left shoulder. Are you breathing? Really try to fill up on the inhale. And then keep the right ribs wrapping this much. Just bring your gaze down. That's going to help with the balance. Weight transitions into that left foot. You start to lift the right leg back. It's like you're passing through a warrior through a warrior three rather than a warrior through. And then finding your twisting crescent. Make any little adjustments that you need to. Fire up that back leg so much. Right thigh firms up towards the ceiling. The more you can do that, the more stability you're going to have. Okay. So stay in the twist. Keep these points of contact. Just bring your gaze down. Find your lower belly to help you with this transition. Step right foot forward. Place it down. Chair pose with the twist. Nice work. As we exhale,
We fold in, unwind. Another little forward fold here. So again, anything that feels good. Interlacing fingers at the small of your back, reaching arms up overhead, or just pressing your calves, letting your fingertips dangle, wherever you want to be. Good. So from here, go ahead and just release your hands down. As you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Good. And then just start to bend your knees here. We're going to come onto our backs. So you can sit back. Let's come into a little bridge pose before we wind down. So laying on your back, similar to how we started. So landing with your ankles underneath your knees, arms by your side, feet are about hips distance apart. All right, so as you inhale, just notice how there's this natural curve in your lumbar, your lower back. As we exhale, we're going to start to lose that curve. We're going to direct our tailbone forward, press into our feet, start to lift the hips up. Inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Good. As you exhale, release the arms by the sides. Inhale, lower hips. Feel that natural curve in the lumbar. And then inhale, start to curl tailbone forward, belly pulls in and up. Lift your hips up off the mat. Inhale, stretch arms up overhead. Exhale, release your arms by your side. And then inhale, lower down. Exhale, lose the curve in your lower back. Press into your feet, lift hips up, bridge pose. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. Good, keep your hips lifted. Exhale, release your arms by your side. And then this time, grab the outer edges of your mat. Curl your shoulders under. Can interlace fingers underneath you. Some of us like those robot arms where we press, bend at the elbow and then press into the upper arm. So wherever you're at, just find a little stretch across your heart and chest. Make sure that you're pressing evenly into your feet, that you're not kind of splaying the knees out. Sometimes the toes turn out in this pose too. So it can sometimes feel as though you're a little pigeon-toed, and that will actually get you into a place of good alignment. We don't want to look side to side in this pose. We're just gazing straight up at the ceiling. With each inhale, it feels like your chest is expanding towards your chin. One more deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we lower down here. We're going to come into a nice reclining hip stretch. So we're just going to take our right ankle above our left knee. Couple breaths here like this, not going any further. Flex the right foot. That engages the muscles around the knee to help protect that joint. You're going to take your right hand into your right thigh. Gently press forward. So you're getting a little more hip stretch. And this can actually be super intense for some of us. If you're in the camp where you have a little more room here, you're going to go ahead and start to bend your left knee into your chest. Give this triangle that you've made with your legs. So you're going to reach your right hand through there. Interlace fingers either around your thigh. Some of us might be able to get the shin. A lot of that has to do with how long our limbs are, how flexible we are. So again, one is not better than the other. There's always tons of variations in these poses. There is no final pose, really. In this variation, again, you can be wedging that right elbow into the right thigh, pressing it forward. So that just helps you to intensify the hips flexor stretch. And then find your breath again. Consciously start to shift it. Really let it begin to slow down. So the inhale's getting a little longer. And the exhale's getting a little longer. Yeah, let's take a nice deep inhale here. So exhale, if you've hugged that left knee in, just release down. Let's come into a little half happy baby, so kind of a reclining dragon pose here. So keep your left knee bent. You're gonna either grab your right thigh with your right hand pressed down. Some of us might be able to bring, so the arm comes to the inside, but then you grab the outer edge of that right foot. And then you kind of just use the strength of your arm to help pull that leg down so the knee is melting towards the floor. If you want a little extra here, start to press forward through that left heel, bringing that leg to straight. Have those toes point up towards the ceiling. So it's as though you're standing on that left leg if you're taking that variation. And then you kind of want to feel those shoulder blades releasing down towards the mat as well. If you would like to, and it's available in your body, you can start to extend this right leg to straight and off to the side. So you could hook your big toe with your middle and index finger and then extend. Maybe you're just extending the leg and holding onto the thigh. So both of those work. Flex the foot. Keep both hip plates pressing into the mat underneath you. Good, and then bring that leg to center if you took it off to the side. Bend that knee, bend the left knee. Good, that little sequence to the second side. So reclining pigeon pose on the left side, crossing the left ankle above the right knee. Right away, just keying into how you might feel different here. So this is my tighter side. So getting a little more intensity, you can take your left hand into that left thigh, gently press forward. Just find a little more sensation. Stay here if you're getting a good stretch. If you want to go a little deeper, bend your right knee in. Interlace fingers either around your thigh or your shin. Wedge that left elbow into the thigh. So again, just kind of creating a little extra sensation. Breath smooth and steady. It doesn't skip a beat. Maybe sending your exhale to the places in your body where you're feeling the intensity of this pose. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, just release if that right knee is squeezing in towards your chest. So placing that right foot on the mat, and then we're gonna come into that half happy baby. So again, you can take your left hand, pull down on your thigh. Maybe you can take that arm to the inside of the leg here, but hold on to the outer edge of your foot. And then gently pull down. So using the strength of your arm. Finally, if you want to extend your right leg to straight on the mat. So you feel super anchored there. This extended leg is like a standing leg. So super strong, your toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. You can just imagine that you're gonna press that foot into a wall in front of you. Keep that breath going. Stay here if you want to take the variation of extending that right or left leg rather off to the left at an angle. It's like a variation of our Hasta Padangusthasana, so hand to big toe pose. You're welcome to do that. And you're either holding the outer thigh or hooking big toe with middle and index finger. Keep both hip plates pressing even. Nice, nice work. As we inhale, we come up to center. We hug both knees in. And we did it. Making our way into our final resting pose here. So Shavasana, it can be classic. Legs extended a little wider than hips, distance apart, toes gently turn out, and then arms by your side, palms facing up.
If you come into this position and there's any tension or tugging in your lower back, just bend your knees, feet wide, and then allow the knees to knock in towards each other. Sometimes you can even lift up the hips and kind of scooch the buttocks flesh forward so you get a little extension of that tailbone. That can also help. And then maybe find a little bridge pose in your upper body. So snuggling those shoulder blades underneath you. A nice deep inhale here together. Open the mouth, sigh the breath out, ha. And then take rest. So you don't have to do anything here. You don't have to control anything. You just have to be in your body with your breath. Take a deeper inhale. And let the breath go. And start to bring some gentle movement back to your body. Wiggle fingers, toes, circle wrists, ankles, stretch out. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. And still keeping this soft, calm, inward gaze. Nice and easy. Just roll to one side or the other. Find the fetal position. And then use your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. Notice how you feel here. So sitting with this nice sense of height. There's space for your breath to move. Your breath is steady and rich. Notice what's going on in the headspace. How has that shifted? Hopefully you're feeling a little quieter, calmer, more focused, more energized, more happy. Send yourself love and gratitude for showing up, for making the effort. And just promise yourself that you're going to carry a little of this good feeling with you into the rest of the day, into the rest of the week ahead. Palms come together at your heart. Just bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today, everybody. Thank you. Namaste.